What's up, folks? Casual Dad here, and I'm in the tail end of the Battle Aces second round beta. Um, I forget if it was open or closed beta, but the second round beta and closed beta. There we go. It's been an interesting experience. So for starters, they made some really cool UI interface changes where your deck selection is different, and there's an F1 toggle so you can view the detailed stats like the attack range, the power, the actual damage versus different type, like air versus ground. That's really, really good. It's been a phenomenal change, and functionally, I think there were some balance changes as well. I'm enjoying the game more than ever on that level, but at the same time, I'm actually having an extremely challenging time playing, and the biggest reason why is lag. Like the lag is just unbelievably bad. And I've tried different networks. I've tried wired versus unwired. I've tried uninstall and reinstall. I dropped the settings to the absolute rock bottom, and it's terrible. So I wanted to take a quick moment to look at this. And a couple things I wanted to highlight here, like clearly smooth movement. You don't get any lag where the units stop moving from place to place. Look at that resource gain on the bottom left. You can see that those numbers are going up in a consistent fashion. You don't see them stuttering and juddering or anything like that. Also, this video recording quality is terrible. Hopefully that's improved since. But mostly I wanted to pop in and look at this. I was introduced to Battle Aces because of my brother and my nephew, and they love this game, and I've been really enjoying playing with them. I don't know if the graphics have changed or improved since the last beta. Honestly, not sure. Like, I don't know if that would impact it either, but like I find it borderline unplayable now. And I'm going to go ahead and record this part, and then I want to do a little bit where I show what it looks like on the current beta, so you can see the difference. So like very smooth graphics, easy to go through, does no problem at all. Yeah, and it's such a fast game with matches supposedly capped at under 10 minutes that if you get lag and can't respond to what's going on real time, especially consistently, it's you don't get punched out of the game. If it's not smooth, it doesn't run. And so my understanding is in the first beta, they were testing out US based servers. Sure, so I would have a better time. In this current beta, I understand they're testing Asian based servers. So what I'm experiencing may completely be server lag. And a lot of players haven't been reporting seeing this, but also I've got an old computer, I've got a wonky internet connection that served just fine. I don't have issues with this in general, but it's bad enough that I might be just borderline enough where I am impacted by server slowdowns where other players may not be. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to take the time to highlight this and mention this specific issue in detail to make sure that it was brought to the developer's attention in case other players haven't mentioned it, because it's really bad. And I'm going to look at a little bit more gameplay here just to hopefully really highlight what I remembered the game being. Little gun butts. I do love gun butts and little scorpion things. I believe this was a game with my nephew. It's definitely 2v2. And just it's wild looking at this and comparing it to the experience that I've had this week. And hopefully the recording I do of the other part is a little bit sharper than this, because this is real blurry. The actual game looks much sharper than this. Even with minimum settings, it's a very pretty game. And I'm constantly impressed by the artwork and the animations and all the stuff that goes into it. Like, it's a really good looking game and a really tightly designed game. Aside from the server issues, I would be giving you a rave review right now. See if we can do a little bit of this, like a little bit more of a big army. Like, this is a big army going on. This, again, is not rock bottom settings. This was a little bit higher up, but where I was actually able to play, even with big armies, even with multiple teams on the screen, even with a ton going on, it runs nice and smooth. Smooth as silk. I really enjoyed the gameplay experience. And you get a little bit of juddering here and there, but you barely even notice it. And I only would notice it now because I'm specifically looking for it. But we're going to compare that to what it looks like now. So I'm going to hop out of this. Well, let's take a look at this big fight and see the end of this so we can see what it looks like with a lot of units. Because yeah, I assumed that it was something in my settings, some graphic settings where my potato is finally catching up with me. But then I rewatched this and I talked to my brother who's helping me kind of go through the beta, and he's the one that mentioned that it's a different location for the servers and that may be the issue. And it may be. It could be something that I've done. Could be the graphics or textures have improved since this time, but I don't know. Look at that. I mean, the gunbutt micro, like it's a little sad to see that because the past week I haven't been able to do any micro at all because I can't really control where my units are. Yes, so we'll pause here. This is a great summary for that. And I wanted to compare that last gameplay footage with this. Like, it's hard freeze ups. You can't even follow what's going on. There's juddering. If you look at those resource gain numbers in the bottom left, less so now, but in a lot of these games, you see those like straight up stop and then jump, stop and then jump, to the point where I couldn't even keep track of like those triggers where it's like you hit 400, tech up, you hit 400, go to a resource base. And it's a little bit inconsistent where there are moments where it can work fine and then other times where it just totally hangs up. Like here, it looks okay. And this actually is considerably better than I remembered, so this is not. But then there was a complete hang up, but the actual battles are the places where it really gets you. And we won this one. This is a tough one. My win record has been much worse with the connection thing, but I still won a couple, and I was proud of that. I really enjoy locusts. I really enjoy the guardian shield. I really enjoy how these things are different. So this is one video where we saw some of that lag. Let's see if I can get any more. And it's really bad to the point where I can't even play games. So I'm surprised actually that this recording looks this smooth. And I don't know if it actually looked better on the recording than it did live playing it, but you saw some of that freezing and juddering at the beginning there. Oh, and I did want to go ahead and highlight this, like the difference here, the way this visually is done, summary of abilities, and then on each individual thing, you've got a place where you can hit that F1 to see the detailed stats of the unit. And that's something that I requested that I'm sure a lot of people requested, but I really, really appreciated that. Let's see if I do this. I think you catch me doing it. Let's see. I should be. If I'm reviewing my deck, I should be checking that. And I was trying to tell these guys how much I love the Advanced Destroyer and trying to figure out which one it was, and I couldn't find it because I couldn't remember it from the last beta. Do it, past self, do it. Come on. Pull up the F1 view. Pull up the detail. The blaster is crazy. Some of the new units are just completely insane. I do think there are some pretty hard counters to some of the meta pieces. Like we had a ton of issues later on where my two nephews were teamed up against my brother and I, and my one nephew used the little spinny blade things and dragonflies, and that was all he did. And the other one did crabs and blasters. And we could not figure out any consistent solution to that. Air was cut to pieces by the blasters. There it is. I found it. Ground was cut to ribbons by the spinny blade things and the dragonflies, and so we couldn't effectively deal with either. Like my air counters were countered by the blasters. Our ground stuff that was countering the spinny blade things was countered by either the blasters or the spinny blade things, depending on what we brought. Like it was a really an impressively well coordinated thing that was hard to beat. Let's see how this game looked. And it's going to be really sad and embarrassing if all of my recordings look just super smooth and it was just me, but I'm hoping that we see some of the lag that I experienced because it's borderline unplayable. And if we're not able to see it here, I may actually do a live game so we can actually see it there. Let's see if things look a little bit later. But there, like the hard hang up, and a ton of things happen in that hang up, and like the battle happens, I couldn't even back up, and then things just jump all over. That was a very strong example of the lag that I was experiencing. And it happens in every single game, something like, well, there goes that recording. One sec. But yeah, back to this first fight, it just freezes and hangs up, and you can really see that. And that was the majority of my experience in the game. I had very few smooth battles where I was actually able to keep up with what was going on. And in a game like this, you can't really sacrifice that. Like you can't give up that kind of time. This is a shorter video, and this is probably just the worst of it, where this stuff just isn't even moving. And this is a combination of everything, where it's a ton of stuff on the screen. There's a bunch of battles going on. We've got 4 players going live, but you can't. And this again is with graphics all the way down. And you saw how smooth it was in that last recording of the previous beta, where even in a 2v2, it was much easier to see what was going on. And like here, I just got cut to ribbons and had no chance to react. Like it's just, oof. And this was the bulk of the play experience I had, where you can very much see just like stuff is happening and I'm not even aware of it. And you can see again that resource gain rate just jumping all over the map. And then that, like it, yeah. So hopefully this is no issue. Hopefully this is something that's only specific to this beta because of where the servers are. Hopefully I can upgrade my computer and network to not experience this either, but I hope that this is known and just wanted to make sure to highlight it. So great game, still love it, really enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to actually being able to play it again. There we go, I'll sign off on that. It's been a fun beta. Hopefully everybody else enjoyed it too.